We've got some big news out of the Cars Tour this morning. They are expanding to the West Coast. Before we get into this, I'd like to ask you, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at John Trent Racing. This is over at the Cars Tour official website. zMax Cars Tour adds West Coast schedule for 2024. Indeed, they have. The zMax Cars Tour will expand to the West Coast in 2024 in the form of the zMax Cars Tour Pro Late Model Series West. The season opening race kicks off at Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway on February 17th. Continuing to focus on building grassroots racing, the new partnership brings together the Cars Tour and Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway owner and California native Tim Huddleston. With Huddleston's extensive knowledge of West Coast racing and his success of promoting various series and tracks, combined with the Cars Tour ownership group of Kevin Harvick, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Justin Marks, and Jeff Burton, the wealth of knowledge of grassroots racing and building local tracks is immeasurable. This is what Huddleston had to say. We're excited for this partnership and to add the Cars Tour to the West Coast racing schedule for 2024. To have Kevin, Dale Jr., Justin, and Jeff bring the Cars Tour to the West Coast and support the grassroots racing is what we need to continue to build a healthy series and showcase the next generation of drivers. The move to add the zMax Cars Tour to the West Coast is the next step in Harvick's return to his roots and continuing his vision for the future of motorsports. Announced in November 2023, Huddleston acquired Kern County Raceway Park and renamed it Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway to honor the NASCAR champion and Bakersfield, California native. As part of the new partnership, Harvick is working closely with the leadership at the track to ensure the best product for the track, the competitors, and the overall health of motorsports at the grassroots level. The zMax Cars Tour makes 2 stops at the track in 2024, showcasing Harvick's commitment to the West Coast and grassroots racing. The West Coast is home for me, and the tracks we'll be going to this year with the zMax Cars Tour Pro Late Model Series West are some of the ones that helped shape the path of my career, said Harvick. I was fortunate enough to have people help me along the way to make it to the top level of NASCAR, and that is what we want to do with the Cars Tour. We want to continue to build the series, bring attention to the drivers, the local tracks, and help usher the next generation of drivers to the top levels of racing. Adding the schedule for 2024 is the next step to making that happen. And in addition to the newly announced series, the U.S. Legend cars will follow the same 9-week schedule and accompany the Pro Late Model races as an added feature for each weekend. Here is the schedule for the zMax Cars Tour Pro Late Model Series West schedule. Kicks off, as I said earlier, February 17th, Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway. They then go to Madera Speedway in Madera, California. Next, on April 13th, Irwindale Speedway. That should be familiar to people who have been watching the ARCA series over the past couple of years. They race there. I actually really like that track. Really good racing, fun little track to race at. Then they go to the Bull Ring at Las Vegas on June 15th. Then they return to the Bull Ring on July 3rd. They go back to Madera on July 20th. And then they return to Irwindale on August 31st. And then on October 5th, they go to All-American Speedway in Roseville, California. And then they wrap it up on November 16th at Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway in Bakersfield, California. So it'll be interesting to see what happens out there with these pro late model races in California. Obviously, probably going to get a bunch of different drivers out there. I don't expect a lot of the people that are going to be racing in the pro late model side here in the Mid-Atlantic region in North Carolina and Virginia to make that trip over there to California. So we will probably see a lot of different drivers over there, and it'll be interesting to see what exactly the competition looks like and how the racing goes. I expect it to be competitive. We see the pro late models are pretty competitive here in the Mid-Atlantic. Lots of different drivers are racing for that championship last year. Katie Hettinger and Caden Quaffle were neck and neck for most of the season, and Quaffle ended up taking home the championship last year. So I expect it to be just as competitive out there, given that this is indeed the Cars Tour. But obviously, it all depends on the drivers and the teams that they are able to attract. The press release does not note any teams have kind of signed on yet. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm excited to see another pro late model Cars Tour division out there racing in the West Coast and also exposing us to some of those other California racetracks. Like I said, Irwindale, watched that with the ARCA series, and it's a fun little series. I'm not familiar with Kern Raceway, Madera, or Yeah, I'm not familiar with those two. Obviously, the Bull Ring at Las Vegas, I am familiar with that. We've seen them race there out there as well with the ARCA series, and then All American Speedway. I think I've seen them race out there at ARCA as well too. Those are fun little tracks to race at as well. The Bull Ring at Las Vegas is definitely a fun track to race at. So they've got a couple good tracks on the list there. So should be some exciting racing. But let me know what you guys think of this. Let me know in the comments below.